Go home, Panini. You're drunk.
Oh my. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. A Kobe Bryant patch autograph. Number 4 of 10.
How is it going, everybody? And welcome back to my channel, Kobe Cards. Panini has some explaining to do. It's that simple. If you've been following along this series, obviously I thank you for watching, but where we left off is that I submitted the redemption. Well, since the last video, I've gathered a lot of information from a lot of different people. Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out, either via email or on Instagram, or even left a comment detailing your experiences. Those really detailed comments were awesome to read through and were super insightful. And because of you all, I have an update for everyone. Now, I will say this is not a conclusive update, so don't expect to hear me say, their plan is this, and let me detail it out for you. No, Panini doesn't have a plan still. Panini is operating in some very, very shady territory. And honestly, when I say shady, I'm talking about they're probably consulting like their legal team. However, what I will be talking about is where they are in the process and what those corporate bigwigs have told their customer service reps to reply to all your emails and phone calls with. So, to begin, I'm going to share my experience. And yeah, Panini responded to one of my emails, and it took them only 13 minutes to respond to me. You heard that right. 13 minutes. What? Why me? Not that I'm not appreciative, but others talk about how it takes them months just to get a response, or they never hear anything at all. And here I am enjoying my Friday night, and I get an email back in 13 frickin' minutes. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how that interaction went, so here it was. This was my email. Dear Panini Customer Service, first off, to anyone who sees this mail, I hope you are staying healthy, safe, and strong during this really difficult time. I'm writing with regards to a redemption request I submitted for a Kobe Bryant autographed card, 2019-20 Signature Series. The ticket number for the request was this. I just wanted to reach out because I'm unsure of what the current outlook is for Kobe autographed cards in general, or how Panini is handling these requests. From what I've heard, I do believe that Kobe was able to sign a few last cards with Panini before he tragically passed. But obviously I am unsure of the extent to which he was able to sign cards. I wanted to be fully transparent on my end and let you know that Kobe has always been my lifelong idol and hero. I had made it one of my missions in life to collect as many of his cards as I could from a very young age. Currently, I have over 800 plus different Kobe Bryant cards. Kobe inspired a lot of who I am today, and when I pulled this Kobe autograph redemption card, I was overwhelmed with excitement, but also a sense of confusion, sadness, anxiety, at the same time due to the uncertainty. If it is not possible to receive the exact Kobe auto I submitted for, I'm praying there's still some way to receive a Kobe autograph of some kind. Maybe there are extra cards from other sets, or really anything Kobe related that could be used as a replacement. I just wanted to be totally upfront and let you know that I would rather have something from Kobe over anything else that could possibly be offered. I would reject a Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, etc. auto 100% of the time for Kobe if given the option, if that says anything about how special this would be for me. If you have any details which could help me better understand the next steps of how you foresee this playing out, maybe there are a few different possible outcomes, I'd greatly appreciate any information, insights. I look forward to hearing back from you soon, and thank you so much in advance for your support and assistance. Thanks. So obviously my email was long, but I wanted to really incite some emotion out of them. I wanted to let them know that I know it's a tough time, that people are struggling, and also how I feel about the situation. Now, here's the fun part. How many different categories of conversation do you think they engaged with? I'm going to list out a few different categories and take a guess from the following categories. What do you think was part of their response? 1. Did they say anything to acknowledge the current climate? Like, yes, we know it's a very difficult time. 2, did they wish me well? Maybe something along the lines of, we hope you're staying safe too? 3, did they confirm what I said that Kobe did sign before he passed? I clearly brought it up. 4, did they acknowledge my emotions? Maybe something like, yes, Kobe impacted us all, or he played a big role in all of our lives. 5, did they acknowledge my feelings about not wanting anything other than Kobe? Maybe something like, we'll do our best. And, under the circumstances, we'll try our best to make sure that we do right by you if, we can't fulfill this redemption. So how many of those 5 categories do you think they addressed in their email response? In other words, how good do you believe the service of the customer service actually is? The answer? 0. Yep, they literally skipped over my entire email, and here's what I got back. Sorry, but no details yet in regards to Kobe. Offices are very slowly starting to open back up over the next few weeks, so we hope to figure out our plan soon after. Get Outlook for iOS. Go home, Panini. You're drunk. So get this. Let me tell you all of the things wrong with this. 1, the email came straight back from the customer service email address, so it wasn't even a person who decided to individually reach out to me or establish any sort of relationship or line of communication. 2, there literally isn't even a signature. It's not like sincerely the customer service team or, kind regards, nothing. 3, not only was there not a signature, but they freaking left in the Get Outlook for iOS. No, Panini, I will not get Outlook for iOS. Stop pushing your agendas on me. Okay, that's not really an agenda maybe, but that's embarrassing that someone would leave that on in an email. Don't most people disable that the second they realize their emails pre-populate with the sent from this type of device signature? This person literally exposed their own laziness, as they are not the type of person to remove the Get Outlook for iOS setting on their device. And then 4, look at all the grammatical errors. Offices are starting to open back over the next few weeks. So we hope to figure out our plan soon after. No period or punctuation. What a joke! So I was embarrassed to receive this email, so I decided not to follow up again because I actually want to give them some time to figure things out, since I know they're actually struggling with, being good human beings over there. But it seems like there are a lot of other people who are getting these really generic emails, which pretty much says that executive leadership is still deciding what to do. Another example that was sent to me was as simple as this. Hello, we are waiting on word from our executive team with regards to outstanding Kobe redemptions. Thanks. At least that person was lucky enough to have a rep with decent knowledge of grammar and spelling, or at a bare minimum had spell check and didn't use their iOS device. But I actually do have one really, and I mean really, legitimate and thoughtful, not at all dismissive, email from a Panini customer support agent to someone I know. And thank you again to everyone who reached out. And this was probably the best response of any of the ones that were submitted to me. So here we go. Hi. Kobe did do a signing for Panini the Thursday before he passed. That would have been January 23rd. We are still waiting to hear from our executive team exactly what Kobe signed. Makes sense. Okay. Hopefully he signed your card and we can send it out like normal. Again, sounds good. We are currently putting everyone that contacts us with a current Kobe redemption into a Kobe queue. What? In the event Kobe did not sign your card, we will get in contact with you and go over some options on replacements. We are also still waiting for executive team to let us know how we are going to handle replacements. That makes sense. Bear with us a bit. We are located in Dallas County. We are currently under a shelter-in-place ordinance and working remotely. Please let me know if you have any questions. Customer service. So, some really valuable information here. I think the most important thing to know is that it's very, very likely, probably 95% plus, that if he actually hand-signed your card, not on sticker, we're talking about hand-signed, in that session on the 23rd, you're probably going to receive your card. Because if he did sign that card, there's no legal way around it. They can't not give it to you and then hold on to it and try to resell it at a later date or anything like that. That card would literally not be able to be used for anything after that. They'd have a major lawsuit on their hands, which would probably be the first time they'd ever lose a lawsuit. The fact is, they can't legally not give it to you if it was on the card that you sent in. The problem then becomes the massive amount of stickers he probably signed. If we're being honest, a lot of Prism autographs are just naturally on stickers, because that's how the manufacturers prepared the cards in the first place. Same thing with Donruss in my example. I would have expected it to be on sticker. It's possible that every card in those sets were originally supposed to be on sticker because it's easier produced that way, and that's what leads to the million-dollar question of how in the world are they going to possibly determine what to do with, let's say, 1,000 stickers when maybe the total redemptions outstanding are like 10,000? How do they decide which product now gets the stickers and what they're going to omit? They actually can't necessarily do it on a first submitted, first served basis, like they said, like there's a Kobe queue. Because could you imagine if there's a Shimmer autograph to 10 and you submitted it a year ago, and I submitted mine yesterday, and then on yours they put the autograph on a serial number maybe 1 of 10, and then they don't put the stickers on the rest of them because they weren't submitted fast enough? So the number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10 of 10 don't end up getting sent out? That wouldn't make sense, because essentially what that person would have is then a 1 of 1, not a 1 of 10 if they did that. So they almost have to approach sets as all or nothing. And what if he did sign 1,000 stickers, and there was one set which was supposed to be numbered to 199, and then another which was 299, and then another which was 599? They'd be short 98 total autographs if that was the case. So which of the variations do they choose to not complete? Are they going to do the 299 and 599? Are they going to do the 199 and 299 and hope that they can, add some autos to other sets with the remaining stickers? And what about the non-numbered cards? For example, my Donruss Signature Series card would not have been a numbered card. So does that mean I'm more likely to get screwed? I would actually think yes. I think I would probably be the first person screwed. I'm sure they'd honor a lot of the numbers that they had produced. So if there was a 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 10 cards in that set, I'm sure they're more likely to use 10 of the stickers on that, as opposed to a mass-produced, maybe they produced 5,000 of the Donruss Signature Series cards, and they expected maybe over its lifetime 800 or so would be submitted. They probably expect some type of margin of people not submitting, or boxes outstanding and not everyone fulfilling their redemption in time without it expiring. So honestly, if there was a card that they printed 1,000 of, yeah, I wouldn't expect that they actually have 1,000 in their warehouse ready to go. I would expect that they have a certain number ready to go and they fulfill it as best as they can and maybe limit the extras, but they probably do some math to see, well, what ratio of people submit redemptions on time and what do we need to have prepared in our storage. So with that said, the fact that my card was one of the mass-produced ones, I could be getting screwed. Plus, from a value perspective, it would make a lot more sense that they would fulfill the really low number high-end ones before they would fulfill the really, really low-end ones. I will say, though, that I massively disagree to that part of the email where they say they don't know what he signed yet. I mean, seriously, we have computers, we have cameras, things get tracked. I'm sure they know exactly what cards were handpicked to be brought to that signing session. Any signing session would have coordination and people deciding what needed to be brought so that it could be signed and exactly how much to be prepared for that session. So that part is a lie. But I think where they go back and say we don't really know what he signed yet, they're probably talking about what they're going to do with the very limited amount of stickers that they might have gotten out of that session. However, that doesn't change the fact that their executive leadership team is pretty much incompetent because they don't know how to answer the question of What do we do if we can't get a Kobe auto to everyone who submitted the redemption? That's the million-dollar question. In a way, I feel like they're trying to buy time and assess the market and see how many things get submitted over time. But ironically, the longer they wait, I think it's actually going to screw them more. The longer they wait, the more I'm going to ask for, and the more customers are going to ask for. The market for sports cards is going up, and it's an ascending or increasing market. In other words, now I can tell them that I want even more than I would have asked for when I submitted it 2 months ago, because the value is more now. So maybe I would have asked for $500 a month ago when I first started this series, but now I might ask for $800 worth of cards if I needed a replacement, because the value is going up and they need to compensate me for the value that I lost. And now it's a higher value than it is. And you better believe I have the right to say that. The customer is always right, and that's how service works. I tell them that if they handled their business as they should have, I would have expected to have a maximum of this value. And whatever value that is the maximum value that card would have been worth at any given time. And if the value increases, that's their fault. I'm not going to accept less than either the current market rate or the best possible rate I could have gotten if they didn't impose stall tactics. The last thing I'm going to mention is, yes, they are in Dallas County, so their corporate execs are surely complying with their shelter from home orders. I do believe that to a pretty large extent, and I do believe that it makes it a lot harder to have the right level of engagement and speed in general, just working from home. I know firsthand with my own work experiences that communicating over Teams or Zoom or whatever you use for meetings definitely hinders productivity in so many ways compared to being in a conference room or being able to be at the office. I do get that. And unfortunately, Dallas is filled with idiots who don't know how to wear a mask. And after like 2 weeks of being totally opened up, they recorded 2 weeks after that where every single day created a new record high of cases. So they had to close right back down. And since most of my family is in Dallas as well as my extended family, I do feel justified in calling them idiots, because even my own family and extended family will tell you, and I quote, "Yeah, we are all idiots over here. I can't believe we even opened up in the first place." They weren't ready. So because of them closing back down, I honestly don't know when Panini will be competent enough to put together a plan, but I think it's more likely now that it'll be after this whole current situation passes and they're able to get back to work and their reps are able to, well, to put it mildly, not send drunk emails from their iOS devices at 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night, likely in front of a television on their couch while having a drink or two or three. And again, I think that they also need to, in a way, cover their own backs. And they probably really are, and this is unfortunate for them, and I do understand. They're probably consulting with their legal department and their legal team to understand what they should and have to do to at least be compliant with their customers and to do things like not bring any lawsuits on their hand for people who may argue they aren't getting certain value. Like, what do they have to do to ensure that people do get value? What is that threshold? And part of that problem, again, is everyone has different cards, right? So they have to determine what the value of my signature series card, where for someone else it might be their Prism card, for someone else it might be their Select card, for someone else it might be a Contenders card. They have to determine all of the values and how are they in the world going to be fair to everybody and make sure everyone feels like they at least had been done right by them by Panini. And that's probably what they're still working on. And I bet you that is a pain in the back. I bet you it is. That's gotta stink. But that's going to do it for today's update. Again, thank you so much to everyone who reached out. And I continue to urge everyone to reach out to me or leave a comment with your experiences so I can share them with everyone as I get them. And definitely I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and follow along my journey to pay tribute to the life and career of Kobe Bryant, and to keep updated with this series too. Thank you so much again to everyone, and I will see you next time.